Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm doing a new intro to this video and cutting and pasting it to the other one because the first intro was interrupted by my froggy friend who was here again this morning. So I always ask you guys to pick the stones that really do resonate with you and resonate with your intuition, or you have a hunch to pick. You can always pick all of them. It doesn't matter, because your intuition always comes into play too in listening to the interpretations. So we will begin. Golden nugget card at the end too, to offer further clarification if you need it. Okay. All right, for those of you who chose the clear stone, we have the Hermit, a message. We have the Ace of Swords, in case we didn't understand the first time that the Hermit was a messenger for you. The Ace of Swords is an epiphany, a revelation, hearing something that Spirit wants you to hear. Clarity. I love that. Clarity that brings victory with that laurel crown. You know, if any of you this morning woke up tempted to look back, analyze, grieve, think, what if this hadn't been, or I hadn't done that, or this person hadn't done that? How can I overcome failures or patterns or disappointments, losses from the past? You need to shake that off right now with these cards. You need to shake that off and say, everything that's happened in the past has made me wiser and better able to meet this moment. Not worse, better able to meet this moment. So that Hermit card is very clearly wanting to bring you a message. And, you know, the Hermit will bring you a message in your alone time with Spirit. Not anybody else has to agree with it. The Hermit, that's the message that is from Source alone. See, the Hermit, he isolates himself from humanity and often isolates himself from the creature comforts of the world, in fact, in order to really hear, to really transcend the messages from this present reality. And you may be hearing something from Hermit that nobody else would agree with, that anybody else would have a hard time seeing about you, about your future. This is the day where you hang on to that. This is the day where you know that Source is giving you a message, and it will bring victory. The Hermit says maybe you ought to keep it to yourself. Maybe you ought to. That's okay. Protect it. But this is a reading designed to help you to see the truth about yourself, the truth that will bring victory. So it's a good truth. Don't worry about this stuff. This is optional. We don't have to dwell on the past. We can look at the two cups that are ascending, the two sources of emotional fulfillment that are ascending. So that is a powerful reading. Wow. Maybe our little frog brought that message. For those of you who chose this blue stone, we have the King of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Coins. Okay, so very obvious to me. You are a very purposeful person. You know what's most important to you. You have the maturity to understand that and to hang tight to it. You're moving forward. And people can rely on you to do that. Now, the wand is, it's passion, it's purpose, it's fire, it's a wand. A King of Wands or a Queen of Wands is an excellent leader because they inspire. But, you know, it's not all about all the little details. The King of Wands would not be a micromanager, would not be somebody who would focus on all the little details. He would be someone that would sweep the minutia aside. That's for sure. But he knows where he's going. And he has great energy and perseverance. You know what, you guys? I just noticed there is a card behind this card. Ooh, another surprise today. What is it? The Emperor. Of course it is. You do have a major arcana, so this is a more important reading than just a daily reading for you. The Emperor is your major arcana. Take charge kind of energy. You do what's right. You do what's best for all. You do what makes logical sense as well. So the Emperor is that really take charge energy, and it's just saying, I am making this decision. I'm making these decisions, and that's that. You know, I know it's best. I will explain to you if you wonder. But, you know, I really am confident I know what's best here. And so this energy may be really rising up in you. And we have the Ten of Wands here. Now that's your optional card, because you also have the Two of Coins. So in other words, I'm seeing somebody who's purposeful, who's mature, who understands what's most important in life, wants to hang on to that, and has the good sense to know how to go about it, and to know what's, you know, what feels right for them, what is right for them. Now the Two of Coins is balancing. You're balancing your sources of security. So that can be work and health. That can be two different sources of income. That can be two major relationships that provide security in your life. But it's something tangible. It's something you can physically see, touch. It's a tangible reality. But you're balancing, even if there's turbulence in the background, and you do it like a master. You know what you're doing. You know, sometimes we take that for granted, don't we? We think everybody can do this, but the truth is not everybody can do that. This is a skilled juggler. And the Ten of Wands is your optional card. You don't need to feel weighed down. Now, the King of Wands would be the type of person who would say, you know what? This is what I'm doing right now. This is my main priority. All of the rest are less important, frankly. And if any of the rest get in the way of hanging on to my major purpose, my main priority with gusto, then those I may really lay aside. Now, the King of Wands, like I said, would not be involved in minutia. So, in other words, today may be a day when, yes, certainly, there are many worthy goals. There are many worthy concerns that you may have on your mind. Priorities. But today really may be a day to lay them down, focus on what's most important, understand that you may never get to all of these minor goals. That's okay. Understand that if the wands represent concerns or worries, or, you know, these are things I have on my mind, and I feel like I have to make some movement in these areas, then do you? Do you need to make movement in all of them? You know, that's maybe a question to ask yourself. If there are many that you do want to hang on to, they are important to you. It's okay to lay them down, though. Do one at a time, especially your main priority, especially what serves your main priority with this King of Wands. It's a challenge to us. Our mind is able to think of 100 things at once sometimes, and it is a challenge to us to let go of what we may be carrying subconsciously. Sometimes 5 minutes of surrendering all these cares into the hands of a loving source will do the job, and trusting that you'll get to each in turn. But right now, we're going to focus 100% on this. In fact, a lot of these concerns we can put in the hands of a higher power, a loving source, and we never need to come back to them. Our source will take care of it. You know, we can ask for that. We can intend that. And our source can take care of things without our interference a lot of times. So all kinds of messages like that in this reading. It's a wonderful reading for you. But there's joy and vitality in this King of Wands too. He's not overburdened. So I hope for that for you today. Okay, for those of you who chose this blue stone, this robin egg blue stone, blue-green, we have two major arcana. We have the Death card, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Knight of Swords. Well, the Death card may be the end of something here. The Knight of Swords it can be charging forward, but it can also be somebody charging forward in an aggressive manner. You know, the Knight of Swords isn't mature entirely, so maybe seems a little reckless. Like, I've got this idea about something, I'm charging forward, I'm voicing it, but they're not seeing the whole picture. They're not seeing the complete analysis. They don't have it all. They're not aware. They don't have it all. But also the Knight of Swords wants to be right. The Knight of Swords wants to win. So this Death card could have something to do with the end of that, whether that's in somebody else or in yourself. It could have to do with the end of charging forward in a way that won't get you there. Like I said, either for you, or maybe you're wanting to not let somebody else do that, you know, in case they think they're right and they're kind of charging at you, you know, but it's an ending there. It's a sort of a knowing something's done. And I say it's a knowing something's done because the High Priestess is all about that inner knowing, and it's a knowing you can't always even put in words. Very intuitive, yes, it transcends this particular time and space, this lifetime. It's a knowing. Sometimes the minute we become free of something is not actually the minute we pronounce that to the world, or the minute we make a decision or take an action. Sometimes the minute we are free of something, it's a very internal thing, and it's just a knowing. I am so done with this. And it's not a, oh my gosh, I'm so done with this, because somebody who's talking about it like that is not quite done with it. They're almost there. They're in the bedevilment stage, you know? But someone who says, I am done with this. I know I'm done with this. Now that's a peace. That is a sort of peace that is beyond understanding. And it's a spiritual shift. So there may be something coming in, or something you're experiencing now, that really is that. So for some of you, this Death card has to do with something else. It has to do with a real loss to you, a serious loss to you. And in that case, you are drawing on your intuition and your wisdom to understand it better, to gain an intuitive understanding of that. Because sometimes, even when we have a terrible loss that, you know, is beyond our control, sometimes just gaining an intuitive understanding of what this means in the big picture, is freeing, is very freeing. So I think for sure today would be a day to listen to your intuition, because it's strong today, it's good today. To be intuitive and to accept that your soul knows what needs to be done, knows what needs to be finished, you know, done with this. It's an amazing reading. All right, for those of you who need a little clarification with the golden nugget for your reading today, because sometimes we have a reading and then questions pop up. The sun reversed. All right, so now I didn't know there was a reversal in the deck. So the sun is joy, it's carefree, because look at that little child. The fact that the sun shows up does not negate it. It's still your card. It's just there might be something kind of making it a little off, something that maybe needs to be corrected, maybe a perspective shift so that we can turn it upright. So the sun maybe joy that wants to come in, a carefree feeling that wants to come in. Maybe you're enjoying the outdoors with the sun, but something that is wanting to come in, but there's something that you need to change, maybe your perspective on it, to really let it in. So maybe it's letting go of some worry. Maybe it's telling yourself it's okay to enjoy your day. Even if you have much to do or much planned, even if something is planned that is usually not so enjoyable for you, guess what? The Sun card is saying you can enjoy even that. Source is going to help you. Sometimes it's how we approach the task. Like, cleaning the house. People don't like to clean the house sometimes. But if we approach it as, look at what we're manifesting here. We're manifesting some real beauty in our home and greater physical strength and stress relief. And, so sometimes it's how we look at it. Or if we need to interact with somebody who is not our favorite, let's just say that, sometimes we can say, well, here's an opportunity for me to listen to my intuition, listen to Source throughout that interaction, and see what new perspective I can gain on it that could be freeing. So, a lot of times it really is how we look at it. And sometimes giving ourselves permission to enjoy. And understanding it's important to enjoy our days. It truly is. In this culture, we tend to put productivity before enjoying our days. Well, then what's the point? Because most of our productivity is theoretically to get us to a place where we can enjoy our time. Get us to our free time, get us to retirement, get us to greater financial security, get us to something. Well, if we give up enjoyment of our moments on the way, what's the point? We could have enjoyment of our day, of our moments right now. So that's food for thought. Well, I thank you all so very, very much. You take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.